I guess what I'm trying to say is I know my strengths. I know what I'm good at. And one thing I'm not good at is walking up and saying, hey, my name's Nathan. Would you like to buy my service, product, whatever? I just can't do it. I can't handle the rejection.
The opening.
Yeah. It was the same way I dated. I never put myself in a position to get rejected. That happened to me one time.
Yeah.
And it destroyed me. I would never say any names, but there was a girl that was a lot older than me. A couple years in high school is a huge difference. Oh, and a buddy of mine convinced
2 grades.
me. Oh, yeah. I mean, they're a different species at that point. Yeah. A ninth grader and a sophomore, a ninth grade boy, sophomore girl, or a junior girl.
Sure.
Like, those are 2 different. They shouldn't even be in the same school together.
Right.
Anyways, I had a crush on this girl. And my buddy was convinced. He convinced me that, he's like, I know her, dude. I'll call her. He was older. He was older than her. He was like, I'll call her. And I was like, no shit. Yeah. He put her on the phone. I'm talking to her, and the conversation's going great because he had already built me up in my mind that I could definitely go out on a date with this girl. Great conversation. She says, meet me here at this location. I walk into the school. I meet her. She's standing there with her books, has her friend. I walk up and said, I'm Nathan. I guess I watched way too many 80s movies. Hey, my name's Nathan. How are you? I was so excited. And she goes, laughed, turned around, and walked off.
No.
Yeah.
Shunned you and
just... And, you could easily be upset with that girl, but the truth is, how arrogant am I to think that I could go out with a junior as a freshman? He was always in a state of denial. I was covered in pimples. I hadn't developed. This was a full-blown woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was I thinking to think that I had a chance? Like, what I'm saying is that I just thought it was very arrogant of me for even trying.
What were you, 14? She was 17?
I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah, it's about 14.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, I could drive. I was 16. I was 16. Whatever the age group was, I was a freshman.
Right.
I think I drove as a freshman, didn't I? No, you probably don't drive as a freshman.
It was Coffee County.
No, it's 9th grade. No, you drive as a sophomore. Long story short.
So she
demoralized me, and I stood there it was the weirdest. I felt so empty. I'd never been so embarrassed in my entire life, and I vowed in that moment I would never feel this way again, ever.
That changed your life.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The way I dated, business, every choice I make in life, and now I'm trying to overcome that fear of rejection. I'm 43 years old, and I'm getting better.
Yeah.
But I always just put myself in places like when I asked my wife out, right? We were at a bar dancing.
Okay.
I didn't mind. Like, there was things you can get away with, right?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't feel like it's rejection. The point is that I'm a very patient guy. And I became a dancing monkey. It taught me to have charisma. I learned the importance of charisma. I learned the importance of communicating. It taught me to analyze things, ask why. It kind of got me on track to become who I am. And it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. It made me really good at what I do. And yes, there was a side effect to it. There was a negative. It made me insecure. But that insecurity put me in a position to where I would out hustle. I just never got told no again in anything. I always get what I want.
We're not naming names.
No, I would never say anybody's name.
Do you think she'll ever watch this podcast?
No.
And think,
surely not.
That dude's so successful.
Maybe. We actually became friends. In a way, indirectly. She was very nice to me. She was a very nice person. She is a wonderful mother. Great husband.
Hurt your feelings, though.
Yeah.
Man.
It was.
That's how we develop, though. I mean, you're never going to grow.
I didn't blame her. And I think that was that's a huge part of my philosophy. Mm-hmm. No matter what happens to me in my life, good or bad, I take responsibility for it. And I could have easily blamed her and hated her, but she did me a favor. And it just made me reevaluate. See, we sold a lie. Hollywood sold us a lie that there was a chance.
Yeah.
And it's bullshit. I mean, it's a fun story.
Hey, I'm Nathan.
Yeah. It was, and I love that story. I'm not embarrassed about it. I would not be surprised if you could track it back and could identify how much I've developed and who I am as a person because of that one moment.
Yeah. Right.
And yes, it did come with, I don't think anything good. There's always a flip side to everything. So I have beautiful children. I have a great business.
You got it.
I'm very successful in forms of happiness.
Family. Yeah.
And I think a lot of that. I know there was many things in my life, but I think that one moment really played a huge.
I'm glad she walked away.
God, I'm glad she laughed.
Yeah, right.
I can imagine how embarrassed she was to have this 14, 15-year-old kid. Yeah, to have what did it say about her? Almost, she was standing there with a friend. How embarrassing that could have been for her. Because, man, it's hard. High school's not easy. Kids are cruel as shit, So
I couldn't imagine.
I never held a grudge.
Today.
I never held a grudge. And I think, my attitude is the reason why I don't ever get bogged down. I'm just like, well, I fucked up.
Yeah.
And I just keep moving.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I didn't mean to tell it.
I've never seen you bogged down. I've seen you.
I tend to overload
We've
myself.
seen each other, ups and downs, but.
But I like my downs. I talk about how important they are. Matter of fact, I was having a moment the other night and, business, a lot of anxiety. I got bit off a lot.